Welcome to my podcast, Today's Dream, Tomorrow's Reality. My name is Vicki Poole, and I'm a master transformational coach and hypnotist specializing in habit change. And this podcast is sponsored by the Enlightened Peach. And it's all about embracing our mosaic life. Now, some of you may ask, what is a mosaic life anyway? Well, it is recognizing that all the pieces of our life, the good, the bad, the indifferent, have all come together to make us who we are. You change any one thing, and we are different. With that in mind, I invite you to embrace your perceived imperfections and celebrate who you are. This podcast is unedited and raw, just like life. And I'm your host, and today I have a special guest with me that I will introduce in just a moment. But before I do, I would love to ask you to do me a solid, and that is leave a comment. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. So now let's get started. So this beautiful lady right here is Anidra, and we know each other from another guest that I've had on my podcast that I've actually had the privilege of meeting in person as well. And you guys have been part of a compilation
Yeah.
of, is that what it's called?
Yes.
So beautiful. And I know you're a keynote speaker as well. So you're an author, you're a keynote speaker. And I think your form even said that you're a pediatrician and an
Yes.
entrepreneur.
Yes.
Ooh, how amazing, how amazing. So, if you don't mind, go ahead and just tell everybody just a tiny bit about you, other than the things that I've already told them,
Okay.
and then we'll get started getting to know you.
Okay. Well, my name is Dr. Ara Lysa. I am a pediatrician. I'm a serial entrepreneur. So I serve the greater area. I'm a locums physician. Locums meaning as needed.
Okay.
So I just go to whichever office needs me to service them. Pediatric office, that is. And then I'm a VIP speaker. I correct the keynote. I
Ooh,
want to be a keynote speaker one
okay.
day. Yeah.
Well, we'll just say keynote then because that's
Okay.
where you are.
Okay. All right then. I
Claim it.
accept. I receive it. Yeah. Yes. Um, and so we have a Warrior Women book, well, group. So we're just a bunch of women who tell our stories about how we turn our life lessons into legacy. And I'm a stroke survivor and
Oh,
also a breast cancer survivor.
wow, wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing. You kind of stopped me
Yeah.
in my tracks. What?
Yeah. Yeah, and I sell Melaleuca, Juice Plus, and do all the things, travel,
Yeah, beautiful. So where is it that you live?
in Swanee, Georgia.
Okay.
So it's out 30
Well,
minutes outside of Atlanta.
I'm in Marietta, Georgia.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
East
Yeah,
Cobb area. So
okay.
we should
I
connect
was
too.
right. I was just over in Marietta yesterday.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
oh man. Well, next time you're this way or I'm that way, we'll have to
Okay.
connect because the way I connected with Nikki was we had been talking and everything, and she came into Atlanta to visit someone. No, she was speaking
Uh-huh.
somewhere. And so while she was here, we met up for lunch. So it was
Oh,
really cool. So we'll have to do that
okay.
too. I can't
Yeah.
wait. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Um, so first of all, when you were little,
Yes.
what did you want to be when you grew up? Did you always want to
Oh,
be a doctor?
that was the third thing on the list. So
Okay. Well, what was the first and second?
yeah, started out with being a teacher. I have
Okay.
some teachers in my family. My dad was a mathematician, so he's a math teacher. He went on to become a principal and vice principal of different middle schools and high schools. And then he's also a retired Army lieutenant colonel. And then
That sounds like a
he
lot of pressure growing up, but go ahead.
Yes. I just said on another Zoom, they called him Joe Clark.
Oh gosh.
Kids in the school called him Joe Clark. And so I had the option to go into his high school. And so my mom told me, well, do you want to go with your dad, or would you like to go to the high school that you're zoned to go to? I was like, I'll be going to the other high school, whichever I'm zoned to. I'm not going with him. No. But yeah, it was a lot of pressure. And we often said he ran the household like he was in the military. But
Mm-hmm.
and then I had another teacher in my family who also became a principal. That was my aunt, my eldest aunt. She's also a breast cancer survivor. So I wanted to be a teacher, and then I wanted to be a social worker.
Hmm.
And then because I mean, I just have the compassion to know why and how and what can we do to make things differently for you. And then I came on to, I'll just be a doctor. And so being a doctor, like, they really don't make that much money. The teachers don't. So I was like, I'll become a doctor, and that way, I become a teacher and a social worker all in one,
Yeah,
amongst
yeah,
many other things. I become a parent too.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So you have children now, right?
No, I don't have a dog, Mahogany. Yeah.
Oh.
Not never married, no children. So yeah, I have a niece and nephew who are 10 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then my
So
dog
you get
Mahogany.
all the fun of being a parent without all the
Yeah.
work, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of the people that I talk to, and I do have children, they're adults, but there's a lot of people that will say if they had really known the magnitude of what it was, they probably never would have had them, you know?
Yeah.
But I love my children dearly, so I would
Yeah.
never say that. Um,
Right.
but what do you think, other than your dad was kind of ruling the roost and,
Hmm.
things were a little pressured?
Right.
What do you think really was the catalyst that said, no, I think I'll go this way instead? Was it
Right.
just seeing your your aunt doing it too, and you wanted to do something different? The reason I'm asking is I am a master transformational coach and a hypnotist, but I've
Mhm.
been a hairstylist for over 30 years.
Oh
And
wow.
my whole family's in the hair business, but I didn't want to do it. I did everything else because I didn't want to do what everybody else was doing. And
Right.
then I hit this place where it was like, I keep diving into it and tapping into it a little bit. Maybe if I'd like it better if I went ahead and got a license. So that's what I did. And then I did it for 30 years.
Oh
So I'm
wow.
just curious, was it that you wanted to do something different from them all of a sudden, or what do you think it was?
No, it was just that my mom became sick. She was
Okay.
diagnosed with breast cancer in her 30s.
Oh, wow.
I was 5, and my brother was just born at when she turned 30. And so I guess it became apparent to me once approaching middle school. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'll do something, because I felt so helpless in that situation,
Mm-hmm.
um, that I wanted to do more. And
Yeah.
so it then became apparent to me in middle school that no, I'm going to be a doctor, and be a pediatrician, because I just had an affinity for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and adults were so much more. You have
Yeah,
to,
yeah. Kids you can love and you can give a sucker and have a good
yeah,
old time, right? Yeah,
they're
yeah.
resilient.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel you. I feel you. So your book, you're in the Women's Warrior Volume 3 right now,
Yeah.
correct? So
Yes.
what is your story about in there? Is it the breast cancer? What is it about?
No, it's about when I had the stroke in
Okay.
residency. I was in my third year, my second year, ending the coming up on the second year ending of residency, and it only takes 3 years to become a pediatrician. So I had to put it on hold, put my residency on hold for a period of 16 months, and then get back into it. So it just talks about the time when a lady told me, "Oh, it's okay if my leg doesn't ever come back. Like if it doesn't ever work like that usually did. But I was like, no, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna, and
Yeah.
it tells of how I um uh how the determination welled up in me. And best believe the next day after I was told that, I was on the treadmill walking. And so
Nice,
then
nice.
I was being watched by an elderly lady, and she came over to me and she said, "You look like you were getting mad at that leg." And I said, "I was." Because I was telling it that it needed to work, and it needed to, you know, um, carry me throughout my residency, that I needed to
Yeah.
get back to fulfill my purpose.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
go back to when you had your stroke. Where were you at when you had it?
I was at home.
Okay.
Yep. In a condo. It was the last day of vacation. I went, I had previously gone to Walt Disney World, the most magical place on earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
With my very best friend, and my goddaughter, and she was pregnant with a second daughter. So I just come from there and visiting I was in Pensacola, Florida during my residency, but I visited um, Atlanta, Georgia. And
Mm-hmm.
so I visited my godson there. And so I was home in the condo. I had that day I'd gone and gotten my stethoscope from another, fellow pediatrician, pediatric resident. And so she had borrowed my stethoscope. So I'd gone and gotten that from her, and everything was fine. I
You
was
didn't have
just,
any symptoms or anything?
no symptoms, no headache, nothing. So I was just watching a movie, and then I realized I was chewing my popcorn for far too long. And I was like, I stay by myself. So that's another thing. And so I then for some reason, I looked over at my right side, because that's what was a side that was affected. And I pulled up my right arm with my left hand and watched my right arm drop. I mean, it was
Mm.
powerless. And so I just, reassured myself I must be dreaming. Like this must be a dream. I have to be dreaming, because no way could this be happening to me,
Right. How old
and
were you?
33.
Wow.
Yes. Because I was, fit. I never smoked. There was no problem with my cholesterol or anything. I'm not don't carry the gene for sickle cell disease or anything like that. So I don't know what it was. So
Wow.
they told me that it could have been
So did you,
my,
when you were sitting there and you did that with your arm, sorry to interrupt, I'm just curious. So did you call then or what did you do?
no, because it discombobulates you.
Uh-huh.
So it had me confused. So
Right.
I was still in the state of, I'm dreaming this. This is a dream. Everything's a dream. So I did nothing. I mean, I was, for some reason, something, triggered my mind to think of the lights on in the house. And so that's what I was preoccupied with. Not
Okay.
calling anyone, not doing any of that. And my phone was like right to the right of me on my table, but nothing, it didn't compute to call someone that I'm having a stroke. Stroke didn't come into play at all
Yeah.
until I was sitting in.
You're you're frozen. I don't know if it's you or if it's me. Anidra, can you hear me? Anidra? All right, so hopefully she'll be back in just a moment. Let me pause. All right, guys, we are back here and we're going to keep going with Anidra. Go ahead, Anidra, and let's keep going with
Okay.
your story.
Okay. So sorry. The uh internet was having a stroke, I think.
I think so.
So yes. So in doing it the stroke just discombobulated me. It made me feel confused as if I was in a state of delirium or wonder, and I was in a dream state. And so I was preoccupied with turning off all the lights in my home. And so after, I picked up my arm and let it go and it fell powerlessly by my side. I was preoccupied, like I said, with turning out all the lights. It didn't dawn on me to call anyone or do anything like that because I thought it was all a dream.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I
So how did you get
dragged my
help then?
um it wasn't until the next morning. Yeah.
Wow.
And they say often like time is of the essence. Like there's
Right.
a acronym like facial droop is fast, FAST. Facial drooping, asymmetry of your arms, or the your speech. My speech was garbled. And time is the last one.
Yeah.
So I had gone to sleep after dragging myself on my left side throughout the
Wow.
condo. I had a two-bedroom condo. So I went from the den or living room area I made like a triangle. I went from the den or living room area to my guest bedroom. Um, there in the closet, I fell asleep because I was so exhausted. There was a being or something, someone telling me to wake up. So I then woke up. I then went from that room, the guest bedroom, to my bedroom was down the hall. So I had to pass the living room or the den where I come from. So went back to my bedroom, somehow got up in the bed. I do not know to this day, but how. But I then fell asleep. I was like, well, certainly in the morning, this will all be over. Um, I thought, I remembered that I had not set my alarm clock. And certainly I was woken up to the phone ringing. And that's the first thought that came across my head. I was like, oh, I forgot to set my alarm clock. So, and I was late for my um, session I was late for my shift in the ER where I was supposed to be at 8 o'clock that morning. So I rushed and answered the phone and I was like, hello, hello. And unbeknownst to me, she was the chief resident had called. She was talking to someone else and she was like, oh, something is wrong. So we must go over there. And to me, it sounded loud and clear when I said hello, hello. And
Ah,
so then I was just like, oh, now I have to make it to the door. So how am I going to do that? So I slid out of bed and crawled or basically slid on my left side to the door, the front door. I reached up behind me and unlocked it. And then I was like, oh, okay, maybe now you guys can figure it out. And so from there, they called the ambulance. The ambulance took me to the same hospital where I was to be working on the pediatric side. Instead, I was going to the adult side, and I now became the patient.
wow. You are
Yeah.
one lucky lady.
Yes. Yes. So
Yeah,
blessed.
yeah. Oh my gosh. And
Yeah. I
then,
don't know. Maybe my mom and all my angels were looking out for me.
yeah,
I
yeah,
take it they were. Yeah.
yeah. And a very determined woman too, because you made sure that no matter what anybody said, you were going to get those legs to work,
Yes.
right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah,
I was.
amazing, amazing. I'm so in awe. Um, so the thing I want to ask, and I'm going to tell you why I asked this, just about everybody that's been on my podcast, I'd say 90%, have had
Mhm.
some story of something that happened in their lives that changed the trajectory of it. Um,
Mhm.
there are some of them that say it was the best thing that ever happened to them. Some don't say that, but they say that they were grateful that things happened
Yeah.
because then they learned this happened, you know. So, what do you have come from that that you can share? Because that's a lot for a person to have gone through.
Yes, it was a lot, tremendously, and especially after, I mean, the rehab period was even more so. And
How long
then,
was your
you know,
rehab?
um, I rehab, well, immediately after I was in I was at the hospital for a couple days, and then I went to inpatient rehab, and that only lasted for like at least 9 weeks, maybe. And then from there, I went to maybe not 9 weeks. Maybe it was only three because I had my stroke on May 12th, and then I was out by
What year?
June of 2010.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I was out by early June. Um so and then I mean it just helped me to learn um stamina and a grit and the determination, and that your mind is the greatest
Mm-hmm.
of your outcome.
Yeah.
Um yeah, and it really dictates how you will turn out and be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I said it all. It makes me. I put this on my cover letter to my CV, and it goes out to different recruiters for me. So I put that it made me become a better doctor.
Ah.
I'm now
Well,
better for it.
that's definitely you know, when you have to be on the patient side, it makes you much more, I would think, now I'm not a doctor by any means, but I would think a lot of times as a doctor, from my experience with doctors, is a lot of times they get so busy that the people are not, they're not personable with the people,
Hmm.
you know, and it becomes this, we got to get these people through. And it
Right.
seems like once you become the patient, that it would change how you actually work with patients more. You'd have more empathy, a lot more feelings of communicating and
Yeah.
empathizing. And I know you
Yes.
work
Yeah.
with kids, so you probably did that already, but
Right. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, it definitely gave me an the perspective from knowing what each person does and how they came to that, and
yeah,
how they can, how they induce their therapies for their different reasons and causes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I had went back and thanked those people, occupational therapists and the physical therapists. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I recently had a client that her daughter had been involved in a skiing accident where she was skiing on a trip and snow skiing. And the one time she didn't wear a helmet, she
Ooh,
fell and ended up with a severe concussion. They had to life flight her and do all these different things for her. And now you'd never know that anything ever happened. And when I talked to her the other day, she was going to be meeting some of these doctors and these people that man the helicopter and all these emergency people that saved her daughter's life. And so she
mhm.
was creating, and I thought this was amazing. She was creating a hardbound book with pictures of her daughter right before the accident, after the accident, the pictures that she had of her recovery process. And now
Yeah.
she's just gotten engaged. She's in
Oh,
college and
wow.
all these different things.
Yay for
So
her.
she was
Yeah.
sharing with them, you know, what a difference it made. And I thought that was just amazing because, you know, and she said that when she finally got in touch with the people that were the did the air flight and
Mhm.
stuff, and she told the owner of the company or whatever that she wanted to do this, and he said, "Oh, he said that's amazing because he said we do things like this all the time. It's our job.
Yeah.
It's what we love to
Hmm.
do, and it's very seldom that we get someone who has done well." Can come
Right.
back and say, "Wow, look what you did." So they were going to have this big formal gathering of all these
Oh,
people. So yeah, so it's cool when you can reach out to someone and say, "You saved my life," you know?
Yes, it is. It is.
Beautiful. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. So right now you're written your book, you've survived breast cancer, you've survived a stroke, which is amazing, both of those things. Um,
Yes. Thank you.
and you're doing so much with your speaking and all. So what is it? What's coming for you now?
Coming up next, I'll be in a speaker competition
Okay.
up in Rochester, New York.
Okay.
I just did the VIP speaker at the Warrior Women Bomb Global conference, and that was
Okay.
in Canandaigua, New York.
Okay.
And what's special about Canandaigua is where Susan B. Anthony, who fought for women's rights, stood trial for her. I think she committed. It was a crime to she voted in a certain location and
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to. Yeah.
Ah, wow.
So yes, and so we were the first after Susan B. Anthony women's conference in Canandaigua. So we
Oh,
made history,
wow.
so to speak. Yep.
Wow. Well,
Yep.
I can say from just this little bit that I've talked to you, that's not the only
Mhm.
history you're going to make. So,
Right. Thank you.
so what do
Thank you. Thank
if you could give our listeners, our watchers, some advice for
you. Mhm.
life after the experience that you've had, what would you tell them?
I would say be kind to everyone every day, no matter how the trials and tribulations come to you, but remember where you have come from. And if you haven't gone through anything just yet, it may be just around the corner for you. So be wary of your doings. Love people like Christ love us. And
Yeah,
so just to, yeah, be kind to one another.
yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
You know,
And go do what you are purposed to do. You'll
right.
find your purpose in your dealings.
Right. I go live once a week in Facebook and I stream it out to different places. But my live this morning was all
Mhm.
about how it's easy to be joyful and happy when things are going well. It's
Yes.
not so easy when things are going to shit sometimes,
Yep.
right? Um, so the thing was to find something in whatever it is that you're going through that you can find joy in, whether it's
Yeah.
you learned something and there's joy from that, or you met someone through whatever hardship it was and there's joy in
Hmm.
that. But it was finding joy in every little tiny piece of moments, like this moment right
Yes.
now. I'm really,
Yeah.
really joyful to be here with you.
Oh,
um
thank you.
and so it's like reminding people that,
Hmm.
life is too short
Yes.
to live
Truly.
it only for the money or only for fame or only for whatever. It's
Hmm.
being in a place where you can be happy no matter what, find
Yes.
joy no matter what. Because to me, if you woke up this morning, that's the
Yeah.
best gift you could have ever gotten.
Yes.
And it should be celebrated. And a lot of times we don't do that. We
Right. We
start
forget.
getting
Yeah.
busy with things and the everyday stuff and the nitty-gritty of things. And so it might talk all this morning. So it's really interesting that that's our talk now.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like it's just meant to be, right?
It is. It
Yeah,
is. God
yeah.
doesn't make mistakes.
No, never, never. Sometimes we make mistakes about the things
Yes.
that we are supposed to be doing, but yeah, that's a
Yeah.
whole nother story, right?
I know. And every day I have to, remind myself, well, be kind to this person because, even though I want to know the answer right now,
Yeah,
they may not have the answer right now. So, and
yeah.
every day I have to look for the joy in things. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And you've been touched with a couple of really significant catastrophes, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
For those that are listening, I just put that in air quotes because they were um, different, they put you in a different direction, not necessarily
Right.
catastrophes, right?
Right. Right.
Because you did survive them and
Yes.
you were able to help people now that
Right.
with your story. So
Right.
there's a purpose for it,
Right. And it made
right?
me a better Anidra.
That's right. That's right. Not that you were broken before,
Right.
but
Right. Right.
it gave you more things to direct out. And one of the things that you said earlier was you were talking about how you felt helpless with your mom and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah. Hmm.
And that makes me think that I was watching a doc, I think it was a documentary, and it was talking about when people experience things like that, where they feel helpless with someone who's sick or something that's going on in their lives, that those people typically want to be a, not a savior, but someone who
Right. A
helps,
resource.
right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Because they weren't able to do it there. Does
Hmm.
that make sense?
Yeah. It
And
totally does.
maybe it's like it could be something that's not quite as big as what you went through, but a lot
Hmm.
of us have this compulsion, not compulsion, but this desire to help people to have a better life.
Yes.
And it all comes from something within. And I love how you've taken these things that have happened in your life and use those
Yeah.
as a catalyst to do even more for yourself, because we don't want
Hmm.
to leave ourselves out of it and others, right? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So, ah. I'm trying to think. There was something I was about to ask you, and now all of a sudden it just went boop right out of my head.
Okay.
So obviously it wasn't meant to be asked.
Right.
Um, but I know
Was it
you
about my
said,
mom or
um,
you're
I
gonna
don't even know. It's like boop,
okay.
just
Okay.
went away. So when you were, do you have siblings?
Yes, I have a younger brother and a half sister who's 7 years older than I am.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And so do you all live in the same area or have you moved around?
No, we lived in Columbia, South Carolina, all our lives. So I was born over in Germany, but I
Hmm.
came over when I was a baby. It was from my dad's relationship when he was in high school. Um, so that's where the half sister comes from. She had moved up to New Jersey, and New
Hmm.
Jersey is where she grew up. I didn't meet her until I was like 9 and she was 16. So it was just my brother and I in Columbia, South Carolina, who we
Okay.
grew up with the same mom and in the same household.
Yeah. So you haven't gone too far from where you were born. Me, I live in the
Right.
same, pretty much the same area, especially the
Oh
same
wow.
state. Yeah.
Wow.
Born and raised in Georgia. So I'm an official Georgia peach, you know. Uh,
Okay. That's where the enlightened peach comes from. I was
that's
like,
it.
oh,
That's
why
it.
she call herself a peach? And I was thinking you were in New York or somewhere.
No, no. It's
Okay.
interesting because um when because I changed the name to the Enlightened Peach, and at that time my daughter and I were going to be doing some stuff together, and she was teaching yoga. We were going to do a few little things, and I said, I feel like I've been studying this mindset stuff for so long, and I kind of feel a little enlightened with,
Mm,
inspiration and things like that.
right.
And we are from Georgia, so that's
Yeah.
how the Enlightened Peach came about.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Mm, that's interesting.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying
So,
to find my niche
yeah, yeah. So,
besides doctoring.
yeah. So, as an entrepreneur, what are you doing as an entrepreneur besides the writing?
Well, I'll selling Melaleuca. Melaleuca is
Hmm.
a wellness company.
Yeah, I'm
So it
familiar
has
with
the
it.
yeah, okay, great then. So it has like over 400 items that are healthier and eco-friendly, non-toxic. for your body and your whole self. Selling Juice Plus, which is a whole food nutrition. And I can use that in my doctoring. So, because we have um, they're set up with healthy starts, and healthy starts is for kids,
Mm-hmm.
where if for every subscription, adult subscription of the Juice Plus, you can get your child for free. So
Oh,
you
how
can
cool is
provide
that?
him, yes, you can
Yeah.
provide him health from, the beginning to the end for life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm in Planet Marketing, so I do a little bit of travel on the side. But right now I'm just using it for my travel, basically. And I'm sure I'll use it next for next year. Well, this year for next
You said
year.
it was
Um,
Planet Travel? What did you say it was?
Planet Marketing.
Planet Marketing.
Yes, and it's IntelliTravel is their sister company.
Okay.
And then we sell travel, or either I can, be your travel agent for all your travel needs, or either get you on, say to speak, just
Mm-hmm.
to get you on, and you can, spread the word about travel and everything, and then produce an income and produce residual income, and then get commission for that.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
I will say for everybody that's watching and listening, if you will give me the links to that, you can send me an email after we get
Okay.
finished. Give me the
Okay. I'll
links
send
to
you my card.
that, the links to your book, and that way I will have it in the show notes.
Okay.
And anybody that wants to connect with you for all those things, then
Okay.
they will know exactly how to do that.
Okay. All right. Thank
Sound
you.
good?
Yes, sounds
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have a good friend that it's funny because she does the Melaleuca and the Juice Plus too.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, so it must be a combination that's just, that's what you
Right.
do.
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful. So you said still haven't figured out your niche yet. So
Yeah.
what are you thinking? Is it women? Is it
I'm really
what?
drawn to kids though.
Okay.
But with women, I
Kids
think I'll
really
have
don't have a
to.
lot of buying power.
Right, no. I know, I know. But this is what I ultimately want to do. I want
Okay.
to be able to produce enough money, or raise enough money to be able to give to either orphanages in different countries, or their Boys and Girls Club in different cities and states. So just go there and deliver, whatever their needs, or just make a contribution, like a donation to the Boys and Girls Clubs, or orphanages around the world.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
cool. So,
Yeah.
I can put on my coaching hat right now,
Okay. Hmm.
and because I do some business coaching and stuff as well.
Okay.
And I would just ask you, so do you know of any boys and girls clubs in your area?
I know of there's one in Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay. So my first suggestion would be because we get what we say, right?
Mm-hmm.
We bring about things. So even though you're not in that place yet to do the big dream like you're
Okay.
thinking of, I say start on a small bite-sized piece. So if it's a
Okay.
donation, I would contact the Boys and Girls Club in Atlanta and ask them
Hmm.
how you can make a donation. Or you could ask if there's a facility anywhere closer to you where you could donate some of your time and just
Okay.
kind of start diving into that dream that you
Okay.
have and give
Okay.
it what capacity you can do at this moment, whether
Okay.
it's time or whether it's money.
Yeah.
Um, and they may be really intrigued with some of your story and want to have you come and speak there for all you know,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
that would be my suggestion because
Okay.
when you're talking about it, it's out there.
Yeah.
Well, we want it
Good.
to be right here,
Right. Right.
right?
Yes. Okay.
So
I
you're
will
willing
do
to take
that.
that challenge on?
Oh yes, yes, I am. And plus I've been in touch with the House of Hope, or the what is it called? it's escaping me now. There's a Tabitha's house
Okay.
with the sex trafficked females
Okay.
or
Yeah.
women. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
women and girls and women. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have their contact number, and House of Hope is a church that I'm a part of. So
Okay.
I'll reach
Cool.
out to them as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So start putting
Mhm.
those little tentacles out there and
Yeah.
making it happen because that's
Yeah.
how it starts.
Yes. Yes. I know. I know.
And then God will
Mhm.
bless you with all the money that you need to make
Okay.
the rest of it happen.
Okay. All right. I'll receive that too.
All right. Beautiful,
Right.
beautiful. So we're about out of time. Of course, it's hard to tell since we actually had to take a break
Oh
for a
yeah.
little bit,
Yeah.
but but what would you, is there any last words that you want to leave everybody with?
Um, really, to seek help what in whichever area you're thinking you're going to go into. Um, and there's never too much information that you could get. I mean, it may seem overwhelming, but just seek help either online or through your church and I advise everyone to um, reach into that higher being and God and Jesus Christ and or whoever you believe in, Allah or something like that, um, for your resources.
Beautiful. I
Yeah.
love that. And I like to leave with my favorite quote, which is the best way to predict the future is create it. And so,
Mm.
with that, all right, everyone, it was great to have you here. Remember, like, subscribe, and share. And you can leave a comment for Anidra. I had to think, how do I say your name again?
You did
You
good.
can leave a comment for Anidra and then she can respond. But thank you guys for being here. Mwah.